All right, guys, it's me, the VINCE. Hope you guys are doing well. Looks like everyone's running a little late today, but I'm glad you're all dropped in. Joel, you can say whatever you want there. I don't block your comments, YouTube does. I have nothing to do with that. Sorry, I came up here a little late. One of my websites actually crashed on me, and I just got it back online, actually. Uh, and it was one of my main sites. It still isn't looking exactly right, but it's better that it's actually running than not. Oh, YouTube just left me a message. Hey, you guys are not going to like that. They've seen what's actually been in there for the past couple weeks, so they're going to be covering up more. I'll try to look at both screens to make sure I catch your questions there. But like I said, be careful, guys, here, as far as because like I said before, YouTube's really cracking down. What's up, Andrew? What's up, Lamar? Just one of those crazy business days to where I'm not actually thinking. The only good thing that's happening is that those steroids are working. That's for sure. Just got finished. I worked out this afternoon. Not even really tired like I usually am. Back is not hurting or anything. Arm is not messing with me or anything like that. So I didn't expect it to work that quickly, but we're off to a good start there, folks. So tell me what y'all are drinking and smoking. Of course, this is the Earl Grey Tuesday. So as always, I have my Earl Grey. Not going to really smoke much anything today. Just not in the mood for a standard cigar. So tell me what y'all are up to today while everyone gets in. Oh boy. Yeah, the process is going good. I just need to make a couple of good business decisions in the next week or two as far as to where am I going to go work at there, folks? Am I going to go back to customer service or am I going to go back to doing security work? I may just end up just staying out for another month because I don't really need to go back to work, but I just like being busy. And sitting around for 6 months, it gets kind of boring. Figuring out how to become a billionaire. You gotta lie, cheat, and steal like Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, just water. That's the same here, really. I've not had any alcohol in a couple of days, actually. Not since actually Friday when I did the midnight run. I've pretty much cleared out most of my beverages. The only thing I got left is just a little bit of vodka. Because from now on, I'm only gonna keep cognac in my in the decanter, and I'm probably gonna put a coffee maker up top or some other item. Yeah, we do need to start a fundraiser, but Genova, but I would actually start one for his birthday. Uh, because his birthday's coming up there pretty soon. Mm. No, my physique hasn't really changed yet or anything. That's gonna take a little bit of time. What is going on here? There we go. And we'll do this. Hmm. Well, as far as to how much I decline bench press, I would actually check in about a week because it's gonna go up. I can already tell you that right now. My when I went in and lifted today, I got a little bit heavier. So, uh, check with me in about a week or so, because we're gonna start maxing out. Yes, Scat Man, I mean that's a really low number, but it's more along the lines of 9 to 15% actually. But yeah, that's the thing about fundraisers. And then some of them are outright complete scams of where none of the money goes. Especially with GoFundMe. Hmm. Box vegan gains? Maybe. Hmm. What's up, Cold C? How you doing? Welcome to Earl Grey Tuesday. I may actually have another one of these. Just depends. Yes, we see your profile, Vegan Gains Naked. Well, that's the thing about charities. It's always been that way. So, and if you're wanting to know what that popping is, it's actually the little mini cigar. Looks like it's a little dry. So, well, of course you're going to get blocked for that, Andrew. I mean, but why in the world would you be on Russell Wilson's channel? He's kind of boring. I'm not subscribed to any of these football channels. They seem to be a lot self-absorbed. So I can't do that. If I put your profile up there, VG, we won't have a live stream. I would definitely get a couple of community strikes, that's for sure. I mean, it can't really see it. It's all infuriating. Rob C with a $1.99 donation. Would you box vegan gains for $500? I would actually have to be paid more because $500 wouldn't go far in a boxing match. You have, of course, your cut man, your corner man, your manager, and all your training, equipment, and stuff. By the time you spend all that kind of money, it's going to be far beyond $500 here, you know. So no, I wouldn't box them. It would have to be a lot more money than that. But again, thanks for your donation. Good question there. That's one thing about these internet challenges and stuff. Now I gotta give respect to Jay Masters for doing that boxing match. At least he came through with that. Uh, but some of these amounts here are just minuscule compared to what you would actually spend. Yeah, Andrew, I would just keep calling it out because a lot of these, you're right, a lot of these charities are a bunch of scams. I don't think about vegan gains as butt. Rob P with another $1.99. No, that still wouldn't be enough. The amount that I would need minimum to box vegan gains would probably be around $50,000. That would be a suitable starting point as far as any type of boxing match. Now, if I was doing a professional wrestling match, my last time I did some wrestling matches, it was like $100, but that was for local wrestling, but that's already predetermined. But I'm sure Vegan Gaines would enjoy taking a couple bumps. He'd probably cry like a little bitch, you know. Whenever you're a pro wrestler or of any type, there, one match is pretty much equal to being in a car accident. So just imagine that. Cold C, I think that's actually a good thing. He needs to cut back on his live streams. He does too many of them. He needs to cut back and take a little bit of time. So, yeah, I've noticed that he's barely doing it. So, but you got to, and you also have to remember, he's putting in a lot of hours for each one of those live streams, like 6 to 8 hours. So, that's a lot of time to live stream. $50,000 is a starting point. And the reason being is you got to figure out all the money that's involved as far as setting up an actual boxing match to begin with. I would not box Deontay Wilder, no way. Not even for $1 million. I would end up almost dead. He would kill me. Mr. G and Lenny's fight was never gonna happen. It was never ever gonna happen, folks. It's amazing how the word cookie cutter will just set someone off there. I remember when Mr. G's like, fuck you, and stuff. You suck dicks on trannies and stuff here. He was getting wild. That was one wild episode of that RX Muscle live stream. Charlie Zell. I hate that guy. That guy sucker punches people and stuff. Ooh. Have they ever caught up with that guy and beat the crap out of him? Ugh, I hate that guy. I would box that guy for free, actually. Forget the 500. I would go up and box him for free for all the crap that he's pulled. Cold C. Not even 500. I wouldn't even need $1 or anything. I would just knock him out for free. I mean, he went and hit Roy Jones Jr.'s dad or excuse me, what? It wasn't his dad. It was Floyd Mayweather Sr.'s dad. He sucker punched him and stuff. And then Deontay Wilder beat the crap out of him there. So, yeah, I hate him. Yeah, Ice Monkey, they would have gassed each other out. Mr. G is one of RX Muscle's Whack Pack members. He sells some cookies and he sells cookies and some bread. I haven't seen him in about 15 years. I haven't ran into him in about 15 years at an expo. Last time I've ran into him was in I think 2007. But he's up there in age there, but yeah. Yeah, someone in Floyd's camp caught him slipping there. Yeah, that's why I would box him for free. He's really dirty. Adam McLeod, no, because I don't really have a problem with him or anything. I don't have any beef with him, truth one. You know? If someone says something about me, that's one thing, but, you know, I'm not going to go and knock on someone's door that hadn't said anything for me, so. I'm not doing nothing for Black History Month. I don't celebrate that. I mean, I wake up every morning and I'm black. I know my history and everything like that. I don't need a month to remind me, you know, or anything. I don't need a federal holiday like Martin Luther King Day to remind me that I'm black, you know? Seriously. You don't need a month. You just need to learn black history. That's all you need to learn. Do you see a white history month or something? Oh, Lord, if there was a white history month there, they would call that racist, you know? But I've never been a believer in Black History Month, and it didn't go over well when I said that in high school. You know, believe me, that's one of the reasons why I got picked on as a kid. You know, growing up in the hood, and you go and say you don't believe in Black History Month. But you know, I'm gonna speak my mind no matter how many times I'm gonna get slapped across the face with it. You know, all you got in this world is your balls and your word. You know, and what I say is what I'm gonna do. You know. I may not have been the most honest person. I may have sold steroids, but and stuff like that. I may have committed some criminal activities. I will say that. But I'm going to still stand by my balls and my word, folks. Mm. Oh, I love Mediterranean food. That's awesome there. I love that. It's actually pretty healthy for you as well. Conservative Cuban, yeah, I'd box him for 50,000. Maybe even 25,000. Hey, Jankum, how's it going there? Welcome to the show. I celebrate Mardi Gras. You know, celebrate Mardi Gras, all you gotta do is get drunk. Well, fuck the movies and documentaries and stuff. Folks, why do I need to celebrate what I wake up every morning? Celebrate Do they celebrate Black History Month in Africa or anything? No, they don't. All right? You should be learning about your heritage every single day, you know. And my heritage is no more important, more or less important than anyone else's heritage. You should learn your heritage, learn your family's history, and that's all you need to do. Okay? It's quite simple. Get caught up with all this stuff here these days. I swear. Live stream's only been on for 16 minutes. Yeah, Ice Monkey, that's who we were talking about early. Charlie Zelenoff or so. That's how I think how you pronounce it. Yeah, we were just talking about him a couple minutes ago. Like I said, I would box him. I would box him for free. Yeah, the TRT. I can feel the TRT working. I didn't expect it to start working this quick, but yeah. And something's happening to my voice of some type there. It's crackling a little bit. I don't know why. Yeah, she probably does here, so I don't care. How long before Richard becomes trans? I would give it about a year or two. Here's the thing, folks. Once you start thinking about transitioning, usually the whole process happens within a year to where you get brave enough to actually start, you know, start doing it there. Now, it takes a lot more. I'm not sure whether Richard's gonna hack it off or anything like that. You know, I'm not. You know, but I would give him about a year or so, to be honest with you. And considering all the stuff that he watches and stuff, that's another thing. Why is everyone transitioning all of a sudden? There, I especially you got vegan. It's just an absorption of all this material and everything like that. Now, I got a lot of transgender friends. I've dated transgender folks here, but those were people that were really that did everything for years. Uh, dressed as a woman for like 2 or 3 years, but the problem is now you just got people. One day they're wearing men's clothes, next thing you know they start taking hormones from day one. You need time in order to actually figure things out. Live as a woman for at least 2 or 3 years if you're going to be doing that before start taking any type of estrogen supplements here. That's my opinion on it. But everyone's doing all these quick conversions, no waiting or anything like that. And some of them are just getting it hacked off there, just making quick decisions, And these are big decisions, folks, before you start putting these hormones in you. It's sort of like my TRT, I had to get tested. I've known about it for years. I waited a bit, and then finally I decided, I took my time as far as making the decisions. I didn't go and rush into things. Joel, no. The answer is no. No, 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 no. Well, this afternoon, I took the androgel and I put it in my inner thighs, actually. You're supposed to put it on your shoulders or your arms and stuff like that, but this has better absorption, in my opinion. Insurance does not cover hormone therapy whatsoever. Most insurances will not cover it. They consider it as cosmetic surgery. in a lot of cases. I'm sure there are certain insurances that cover it, but most of them won't. The U.S. military will cover it, and the federal prison system will cover it. Not the state prison system. Looks like I missed a couple questions here. Richard's sissy name would be Jasmine, too. Let's see. Catching up. Reading comments. Hold on. Yeah, I've already said that I would consider doing the collab. I mean, eventually me and Lenny will collab on a video once we get things set up there. Joel, I mean, I'm not going to have a barbecue or anything like that. I don't need any more hot dogs on the grill, so the answer would be no. I wouldn't want VG's Willie if he got it hacked off. Lamar, wait until next week there, because once the juice comes in, I think I'm going to be lifting even more. But my dumbbell bench right now is like 100 for 2 reps, which is way down from what I used to be able to do. So I should be able to do much more by next week once the testosterone runs through the body. Yes. Oh, I love HBCUs. I think they're it's a great, I mean those colleges, they got a lot of material in them there. So I was considering going to an HBCU actually. There was a couple of different ones here. Ronnie Coleman went to an HBCU actually. I mean, those are awesome colleges, and the thing about it is they have to be on point and beyond, because when you have a historically black college, you have a lot more on the line as opposed to a regular college. So, but yeah, Ronnie, you really should ask Ronnie Coleman, but because he graduated from one, he got a degree in accounting. Grambling State, actually. I also considered going to Morehouse. And that's the thing about Morehouse. When you start out at Morehouse, they call you a man of Morehouse. When you graduate, you are a Morehouse man, so. My day of eating is actually going to change, actually. It's going to be a lot of tilapia and asparagus, and I'm going to go back to my shrimp, broccoli heads, and hot sauce. So, yeah, Bangkok and Thailand, you can easily get it hacked off here. No problems here. Just stick it on out, and they'll just put it on the chopping block and choppy pee. I would never go on Weight Watchers. Most of that food has corn syrup in it. The juice is doing pretty good, actually. I'm feeling good. I mean, really, I feel a lot better than I felt in a couple of years. I mean, I got no bones aching or anything like that, so we'll just see. And if I keel haul a lolly, just remember you can always replay my videos. Because even with me taking it right now or so forth, it doesn't guarantee any more longevity in life, because I may have already done enough damage already. So, but I'm going to do my best. I've not watched BET in years. Well, Ice Monkey, they're cheap. You get them frozen out of the frozen section. You throw them in the microwave, and that's it. You You can throw your frozen shrimp, throw your broccoli in, throw it in the microwave for maybe like 4 minutes. Add a little hot sauce, that little rooster sauce. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? That rooster hot sauce stuff. It's a good meal. Joel, I've already answered it. No. Yeah, I would teach at an HBCU. I wouldn't have no problems with that. I would teach at any college. Teach them about mints. I would be considered controversial if I taught at an HBCU. But it's sort of like you can't, you have to be yourself, folks. There's a little G.I. Joe episode. If you type in on YouTube the Likables, you'll see the little cartoon that they had. So one thing about G.I. Joe, when I was a kid, I watched all lasers and stuff. But once I grew up and actually watched it, they really get into a lot of political stuff. And, now that I'm older, I get some of those inside jokes. That's the same with a lot of, like He-Man when he jumps down and you see his ass. And I'm realizing, geez, I can't believe they put that out there, I missed a joke. Yeah, sriracha. I call it rooster sauce. How would I teach? I would just put a lesson plan itself there. I mean, I would probably teach political science or something like that. But I mean, Sean G said he went to Morris Brown. Yeah, sounds right there. So that's an HBCU. But I would teach political science. Either that or I couldn't teach engineering because I don't have a master's in engineering or anything. Well, Vegan Gains Naked, you can have Scatman you can have him poo on you if you wish. Rectal rock. I don't even want to know what rectal rocket fuel is. Is that a plug in the? Yeah, that's. I think that's his dildo shoved in his ass. Haven't y'all, Lamar? You've listened to my shows there, right? You've heard all the stuff I've said. You've seen the ice cream YouTube video that I made, the nigger ice cream video. Yeah, I would be considered controversial. That's why YouTube lowers my rankings on my video, is because of that. Wonder who else is streaming tonight anyway. I know we did a stream yesterday. Maybe I might do some more depending. Yeah, it is a college. Lamar, unless you're talking about something different. There's a lot of HBCUs that don't particularly designate themselves as HBCUs, and some of them have removed that designation as well in order to get larger endowments and get white students to actually attend as well. More places like Morehouse, however, they're going to always be the same. Serratus, come on, I ain't going to teach that. Critical vegan brain theories. I'm sure they have a degree in veganism, I bet. It'd probably fall under liberal arts or something. Why did Jay Masters challenge me to a chicken wing eating contest? Because he was drunk. Whenever he says those crazy comments, he's drunk. Yep, y'all a bunch of homos. You bunch of fags. Just like me. Yep. Welcome to the club. I'm gonna start handing out rainbow bags to all you motherfuckers. Oh boy. Yeah, I'll tell you, folks. I've had a pretty rough day. Lamar, it's to a point there. A lot of colleges are now getting a little bit too snippy. They're becoming social justice warriors, and if you speak out, you get doxxed and stuff. So it's not. Colleges are free thought. They claim to be free thought as long as it's liberal thought. You know what happens when conservative thought goes into into most colleges. Next thing you know, they get doxxed. College is no longer an institution to where there's really free thought, folks. In fact, I would actually question whether some people should go to college to begin with. Some people don't, a lot of people don't need to go to college. They need to go to a trade school. They may need to go to a technical institute or so forth, or technical college. Like down in Nashville, we have AB Tech and stuff. Learn a trade instead, you know. Any supplement that Rich Piana came out with is nuts. 500 milligrams of caffeine is way too much. That's just way too much caffeine. There's not even a point or any benefit of having 500 milligrams of caffeine. I had a Jerry curl one time. I never had a mullet. A Jerry curl is for black folks, mullets are for white folks. When it comes to a mullet, business in the front, party in the back. When it came to a Jerry curl, drip, 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 drippy, drip, 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 drip. But I had a Jerry curl at one time, so yeah. You know, in the late 90s, we were moving away from flat tops and we went into waves and Proline and stuff like that. So, same as the 70s. Everything's going to repeat itself. And we're probably in about a year or two get back to Jerry curls anyway. So, what's the point? Right now, everyone's wearing dreadlocks and stuff. You know, the great one that will never wear dreadlocks. Ever. Nope. I think it just looks unkempt, to be honest with you. Now, some of them, you know, they're done well and everything like that. But when I see dreadlocks, a lot of it just looks wild looking. It's not suitable in a business environment, but then again, in this day and age, you know, a lot of things don't look really good in the business environment. So you can now wear pretty much anything you want at any corporate office. No more suits and ties and everything. Broccoli haircut. Yeah, I've seen that. I actually had a flat top up this high, actually. Let me put it over. I had my flat top up this high at one time. And then in the late 90s, I got rid of the flat top and then I waved it down into a Jerry curl. Then I went back to a regular haircut and then finally I just started losing my hair. I haven't shaved my head yet, so I'm George Jefferson tonight. Not gonna get any dreadlock wigs. I'm not gonna look like that guy from Tankin. So, do I remember what I was doing when Tupac died? I actually do. I was in Electric Avenue at Montgomery Ward when I heard that Tupac passed away. Actually, I really don't there. Even though I worked out today, I don't feel as tired as I usually. In fact, I may actually do another workout tonight. Yeah, Ninja, you just told me I look like Carl Cox. So, That was supposed to be a super chat. Oh, I saw Sneed's comment. Who's BB? He donated $1. Yep. If you donate under a certain percentage, it's not gonna do an alert or anything. I think Jasmine's cock is bigger than mine and Richard's. But thanks again for the donation. Yeah, but it has to be at least $3 before it actually activates and show that silly graphic and stuff. Well, Mike Tyson is right. You don't want to fight a guy with greasy hair, and stuff. Your punches would slip and everything. Lamar, wait until next week until the steroids get in. Because now my lifts are now nil. Anything I lift right now is nil. Because now that I'm taking testosterone, my lifts are going to get a lot stronger. And I can already feel that they are. So check back in with me, Lamar, next week. And folks, if y'all are going to ask me about lifts, check back in with me next week. In fact, I will give you my lifts next week. You won't even have to ask. Eventually, I will come to Canada. I just need to have a specific excuse and reason. If anything, I would probably come for the Toronto Pro. God damn it, Raleigh, it ain't Astrogel, it's Androgel. Well, Kentucky Blue, I had an Atari 7800. But I still have a favorite NES game. I would say The Guardian Legend was my favorite NES game. Well, Ninja, I think the VR2 is going to be very interesting. We're entering a new world of video games. I mean, whenever I started at Verizon, it was at the early stage of VR technology. And I think it's going to get more in depth. It's going to be the point to where we're going to start having 3D watches and stuff like that. It's going to start getting crazy. It's going to be like Star Wars. The dumbbells at my gym go up to 110 pounds. Now, if I was still at Coops Fitness, they actually go up to 150, actually. My shoulders hadn't really changed. Like I said, I've only been taking it for 2 days. I've always been pretty big, just like my daddy. Uh, if Savage Goddess goes to rehab and cleans herself up, perhaps. Not in her current state. I'd probably get my pocket picked. Be looking for my wallet and it'd be gone. All my credit cards and my Amex Platinum. I mean, you don't want to keep an Amex Platinum around a crackhead or anything. So just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. No, I would definitely not sleep at Vegan Gaines' apartment. Where would I sleep at it? The place is all crowded and stank ass rabbits and stuff like that. You know, I can't even sleep in the bathtub. They keep bunny rabbits in the bathtub. I don't even know how they bathe. They keep a rabbit cage in their bath. They keep a rabbit cage, folks, in their bathroom. Actually, they have animals everywhere. Have I ever cross dressed? Yes, I did that Halloween live stream, Andrew. Go back to the Tan 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 Halloween live stream. So there's nothing wrong with dress. There's nothing wrong with cross dressing and stuff. I'm confident with my masculinity. I mean, I may fuck dudes in the ass, but I'm still comfortable with my masculinity, folks. So, I mean, if I'm going to a party and I want to cross dress off, I'll do it if I want to. If I want to put on some high heels, it's a free country, folks. My favorite watch is a Muvano Museum because it just goes with everything. I like minimalist watches. The next watch down to that would be an Orient Bambino. I don't wear expensive watches, Ninja. I wear comparable ones. I've just never been into expensive watches. And I have a lot of Invicta watches too. I like big watches because I'm a big guy, so they fit me as well. What is my heaviest single arm dumbbell row? About 50. Because I have long arms, it's pretty much an uncoordinated lift, Raul. That's not going to change even with me being on gear. The largest I've ever deadlifted was maybe about 400. I may even be able to get back up to that. But again, long arm. When you have longer arms, you're going to have trouble doing things like deadlifts. They're not going to be your strongest lifts. That's the same with shoulder presses. Pull-ups are a little bit different. Yeah, Genova kept this place tidier, and that's not really saying much. Well, Antonio, you better get a shovel for all that snow. I don't even let my own brother sleep over at my place. I like my privacy. The only people that come over my place is friends that I know and my mom and my stepdad. No weight and height check because it's going to go down. I'm on steroids, man. The clock is resetting. The die has been cast, my friends. No weight checks or height checks. Well, height check, I mean, I'm not going to get taller. I'm still 5'11", so. No, I've been on tests before. My arms ain't going to grow. I like Kirby Allison. He's a. I watch it. I'm subscribed to his channel. Good guy. He's good. He knows his craft there. So I always respect someone that stays true to himself there. He bucks the status quo. People don't dress like that anymore. And people really do. I still have suits and ties, and I still go out in suits and ties and stuff. People just don't do that anymore. That's why I respect Kirby. Everyone should subscribe to his channel. It's very interesting what he talks about. He has a lot better cigars than I do. He's got a hold of all them Cubans and stuff. He smokes a Cuban every day. Joseph, as long as you like the watch, that's going to be good for you, my friend, Looks like I'm falling back out, so. I don't really like Chihuahuas. They're too noisy. I've not heard about Jane being in the hospital. Genova's not mentioned it on his Facebook channel neither. I don't know who Umer Johnson is, so I can't really answer that. Frank, there's no way a Pac-Man game can draw someone to be violent. I hate it when people say that video games make people violent. It's like steroids cause roid rage. That stuff has already got to be in you. There's millions of kids that play video games every day and they don't go out and shoot everyone. And then again, you got people that have never played video games and they've gone out and mass murdered people. No, my brother doesn't live with my mom. Once we turn 18 in the Goodrum family, we got to get out, Once you turn, we're not a family that, where we're going to stay at home until we're like 23 or so. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling stronger with the test already. I might get married again. It's going to really all depend on a number of things. I'm not going to get shredded with minimum effort on the gel. I'll still need to do dieting and everything, protein. Looks like my chats are offline there, so forth of some type. They're not syncing with each other. John Bravo's a YouTube creator, so he has to make subjective videos in order to keep people interested. That's how he actually depends on his videos for his income, folks. So, because without his videos, he doesn't have his sponsors and stuff. John Bravo's channel, John Bravo's job is is his YouTube channel and social media, and that's where the line is with that. I'm gonna have to scroll back up. If I missed your question, folks, sorry. For some reason or other, this isn't syncing right. Everything's all over the place. No, I've not had any mental effects from the gel. I mean, I feel a lot more euphoric, actually, if anything. Andrew, you already know the answer to that. No, I'm not going to stroke myself with gel. It'd be a waste of money. Yeah, I've been a home wrecker before. Involuntarily. You know, you go out on a date with someone there and they don't tell you that they're going out with someone or that they're married. That's not my fault, you know. KCB, Atari 7800 games were of the time, you know. And there were a lot of games like Ball Blazer that were pretty advanced for its time. The Atari 7800 was built in 1984, so, you know. There's no problem with guys with earrings. I don't see any issue with that. I mean, I had earrings when I was a teenager and I was growing up. And it's just a trend. Some people like earrings, that doesn't feminize someone just because they wear earrings. Well, the reason why they use the same sound chip with the 2600 KCB is so someone with the 7800 can use a 2600. If they change the sound chip, then you wouldn't have been able to play 2600 games. They should have just had a workaround with that and put a new sound chip. But yeah, if they put a new sound chip in there, it would have beat the NES easily. Because the 7800 functions just like a regular arcade game, to whereas an NES uses a block system. I haven't watched any episodes of After Hours because I've been doing a couple of other things, job applications and stuff. But I'll ask John. Usually, when it comes to stuff like that, I would ask John Bravo directly. Have I seen Vegan Gains telling that he and Jasmine are Satanists? The word is actually sadists. Actually, it's not Satanists. They're sadists. Actually. Matt C. Wait until I said before. Wait until next week. I got testosterone running into me. All of my lifts are null and void at this time until I establish new lifts, which will be next week. So it doesn't matter what I'm lifting now. I'll be lifting a lot heavier pretty soon. I can just tell you that right now. I can feel it. I can feel it. Richard will either move into the workforce or he'll make up with his parents and move back in. I don't keep up with Genova's moms or anything, Serratus, but I still wish the best for her. I've already answered that before, Truth. I'm not going to date Sean. Takes a lot for me to actually date someone. Tony Hughes is still wandering around Thailand. He may have actually smartened up and started keeping his mouth shut. Bravo is on some serious TRT, so it's going to be hard for him to get chubby. Yes, I've been cheated on. I've been cheated with. And I've been a homewrecker. I've been all of that. It's part of life and relationships and stuff. No, I'm not going to cover my tooth gap. I think that's part of me. I have no new info on Leo and Longevity's death, but it's not looking too good because it seems as though there's some serious investigations with that, which is pointing to a murder actually, but nothing announced yet. Well, Matt, I just started taking steroids, so anything I lift now is not going to make a difference. I'm going to be lifting a lot heavier next week and start continuing to lift even heavier as weeks go by. I probably won't collaborate with the weightlifting geek or anything. Just don't know him well enough. I didn't know John Bravo's day job was a software engineer, but he still depended upon his YouTube channel for income, and I mean really depended upon it. But it doesn't surprise me with being a software engineer and a filmmaker, Wally. Well, software engineering and filmmaking is sort of the same thing because you're using software. You have to use things like Final Cut, and I don't know how to use Final Cut. I didn't know that, Joseph. I've not been in the video games for quite some time. I did like Donkey Kong. How high can you get? That's why that game was so famous, is because that's why so many people put the quarters in, because the first screen you got is how high can you get, and that's like an inside joke. I had a Volstick watch at one time. Got broken. Oh, you meant the YouTubers What's Your Max? I really don't care about that guy. Have I tried Tinder? I tried it one time and I absolutely hated it. Just a lot of stuck up and arrogant people. And a bunch of creepazoids. If I do any reps next week, I'd probably go to Coops because, again, I can't film at the sports club. I'll take like a day membership or so forth and do some cool lifts. I've been thinking about that as well. What's the longest I've ever stayed up? I stayed up for 2 days at one time. Just had a lot of work to do, and that was at the time I was building a website. You see, 20 some years ago, you actually had to type in HTML coding, so it was a lot harder to build websites back then because you had to. It's akin. Just imagine building a website using your Notepad program. So at that time, you would stay up for a long time coding. Hardly remember half of the stuff at this point. Raul, I've not been on it long enough, but perversion is a mental thing. So I won't be experiencing any of that. Yeah, I've been in the Great Smokies. I've been there plenty of times here. Very nice. Very relaxing environment. Great place to camp.
I'll see you at the sports club.
Vegan Gains with a $10 donation. Hey, you're welcome. If you come to the sports club, you know, I'll pay for a day membership there. You know, you can work out, hit the sauna, check out the swimming pool and everything. You'll have a great time, but thanks again for the donation there. Hey, if anyone comes down here to Greenville and comes to the sports club, just say Melvin sent you, and they'll put a day pass on my tab. That's one other good thing about the sports club. I actually have a tab, so if I want to get a drink, for example, or some food, and I don't have my wallet on me, they'll just put it on my tab and just bill me out for it. You can't do that at any other gym. Well, maybe you can do it in New York or so forth, but it's pretty rare in a gym in South Carolina. John Bravo is not that big. I'm actually bigger than he is. Can you critique my old football highlights? Well, put them up there. Lamar, I'm not going to get any veneers. I think that's a waste of money. There's nothing wrong with my teeth whatsoever. All right, sure, there's a gap in it there, but it doesn't affect my eating. I can still chew. I would not go to Vegan Gaines' funeral because it's in Canada, you know. But I would send some flowers and a card to his parents. Sign the guest book on the website. Pugman, what's up there, dude? I'll still go to full body training. I've always liked full body training because, you know, I like hitting on my body parts with the one session. So that way, if I'm busy during the week or so, then at least I'm training on my body parts. So I'll still continue with full training even on steroids. Exactly, Joseph. It really takes about a week for those to hit. But I'm already noticing a couple things. My voice is cracking, for example. And it's actually getting deeper, so. And I'm pretty euphoric, too. I mean, I'm not sore neither like I normally am after a workout. So it seems to be reacting pretty well, so I expect some other things to be happening, so. But my voice is actually deepening a little bit. So, weird. Folks, I am behind on questions, so just hang tight with me. Yes, I've dunked a basketball before. Can't do it now. A little too heavy. Well, KCB, they actually did use a Poke special chip. Some of the games did, except that a lot of developers didn't want to use it. The only two games I know that used a sound chip for the 7800 was Ball Blazer, Escape from Fractus, and Commando. Oh, and Scrapyard Dog. Those are the only games that use that special sound chip in the 7800. Now, if you look up Ricky and Vicky, that's a pretty interesting thing. You can. We'll have to discuss that another day, but just check out Ricky and Vicky for the 7800. It was a game that was developed a couple of years ago, and it's something, that's for sure. I can't believe they were able to. Technically, it's a game system that actually works in the 7800. It's pretty cool what they did. KCB, the SNES CPU is slow by today's standards, as well as any other computer. The Jaguars' main issue is they didn't have any good games developers. It's a great system, but you know, if you ain't got people to design the video games and stuff, it's just gonna be crap. I mean, I had a Jaguar and I enjoyed my Jaguar, but there was just not enough games, you know. Well, Vince comes from my old wrestling name, Venom Vince Versace. So, yeah. That's why my nickname's Vince. Now, most of my regular friends still call me Melvin, but, I mean, just a few of them still call me that. Most people just call me Vince. Nothing wrong with a nickname, folks. Well, I'm using straight testosterone, so no Rad 140. And I definitely ain't going to touch SARMs or anything. I will be taking a couple of other things, possibly growth hormone and HCG. I don't know how tall Bravo is. I know I'm bigger than he is. Andrew Vegan Gains didn't say he would date me. Come on now. Protein, yes, the swordfish. That's one of the big things about the swordfish. You can bring in your own alcohol and they'll actually store it. Actually, it's a monthly fee for that. Bravo's 6'3", 275. I've never seen his full body there, but if you say so, maybe he is bigger than I am. But I'm blacker than he is. No matter how much he tans, he won't be a black man. Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is, folks. I've met with a lot of people that have known me from this channel as well as through Get Big. So I've already done that before Truth One, so I have no problems meeting up with folks. Dental surgery isn't a waste. It would be a waste just to take care of this. Because a gap in your tooth doesn't affect your eating. Now, if it starts affecting my eating or causes any type of health issues, yeah, that's a little bit different. I would definitely need to have dental surgery. Stop worrying about my gap anyway. You know, if you want to talk, if you want anything about the Gap, go clothes shopping. Go to the Gap. How many dips? About 30 back in the day. I was pretty good at dips there. And I like dips. Dips build the triceps and it builds the chest. I don't think being on test has anything to do with being a supporter of Russia. That war is getting kind of brutal, actually. Well, Scatman, when it comes to working out, you don't worry about the looks. You just worry about working the muscle. That's all that matters. I don't care. I don't care about what I look like whenever I'm lifting. At the end of the day, you're trying to build muscle, folks. My total testosterone, last I checked before taking the test, start taking androgel, was 51. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit up now, and it's going to still continue to climb. I'm gonna get it up to. I'm gonna try to get it up to at least 700. So I think at 700 I should be fine. I have to get my DOD check, Pugman, but I've not got the job yet. I've also applied at some other places, so we'll just have to see. I mean, I worked at Lockheed before, Pugman, so I don't think there's going to be any issues. But when you work at Lockheed, you have to have a security clearance with the Department of Defense. Andrew, I know what a zoophile is, and no, we're not going to discuss it. I'd like to keep my live stream running. I don't need it to just get cut off and have a little referee flag show up on my screen saying you have a copyright strike. Can I put my orders on your tab at the Swordfish? Sure. But it's just a two drink max there, Pugman. Now, if you're in Asheville, you can go to my version of the Swordfish. There is the Casablanca Cigar Lounge. So if you're there, tell them Melvin sent you. He'll give you a little discount. So. Chris, I wouldn't buy beachfront property because I hate the ocean. That's how we got here. Don't you know black people don't really like oceans and stuff too well? No, I hate the beach. Oh, I've definitely been to Hilton Head. I mean, folks, most of my liquor comes from the Hilton Head distillery. So, Hilton Head's awesome. John Bravo's Lebanese. I believe he's Lebanese. He's a yeah. Why would Vegan Gains Pugman go to New York for? If he comes to New York, I could get up there. That would be possible. New York's a big city, though. But I wasn't aware he was going to New York. Hey, you're right about that, Joel. He is scared to go anywhere. That's what I was saying. If he comes up to New York, I may actually be tempted to actually go meet him. I don't think it would be a very nice meeting, to be honest with you. I'm never going to retire, Andrew. I'm always going to be working on something. I'm not 51 years old, I'm 45. I competed in the NGA. They have drug-free restrictions. Well, now I can no longer compete in it, so. Raul, I don't know what you mean by Melvin's a tab, so. It's expensive and I don't like the beach. I've been to the beach before. Yeah. If black people hate the ocean, how do you explain the Bahamas? I mean, I don't know. You know, I guess I can say African Americans hate the beach. You know, for the most part. Black folks that are Jamaican and Africans, they probably don't hate the beach because they weren't dragged here. So they weren't given a free cruise. I've been to Ohio because my dad lives there, Andrew. I've been to Ohio a bunch. So, yeah, I've been to Cleveland. My dad lives in Cleveland, actually. Zach, let's not start with the taking a dump thing here. It's kind of rough in New York City. If you don't know where you're going, you can get lost very easy. Androgel is steroids. I mean, it's testosterone, and I'm taking about 40 milligrams a day. Well, Chris, when it comes to beachfront property, here's the problem with it in particular. The worst thing you can have, excuse me for a minute, I don't know why it's doing that. Some reason or other that focus is not working too well. But the biggest thing about beachfront property is all the erosion that's in place. So if you set up a house on the beach, for example, and with erosion your house is gone, you're fucked without a condom. So they would have sailed to, if Africans didn't hate the beach, they would have sailed to America without shackles. They didn't really have much of a choice, Scatman, so. That's why they call it slavery for. Slavery may get shit done, but slavery, you don't really have much of a choice on that, really. It's not like it's like being drafted in the military, except there was no draft. It was just slavery. Black folks getting whipped and made to pick cotton, so. Pancakes can be healthy, but your general pancake is not healthy. Bruce Lee's max bench press, probably about 300 whenever he was in his bodybuilding state. No, I hate Macy's. A lot of expensive crap. You can get the same deals actually directly. If you go to like an outlet store, you can get the stuff for a lot less. Yeah, I may get a preset, but it's just, I think it's the lighting in here that's causing an issue. What brand sweater? This is a Nordstrom sweater. Yeah, I like Kodiak cakes. They sell them in bulk at Sam's Club. But I already have my oatmeal, so I mean, I don't really. If I want to make pancakes, I'll make oatmeal pancakes with the oatmeal that I have. It's not African ancestry, it's African American ancestry to water. And the reason being is because we were dragged over here across the seas, so we're going to have some sort of apprehension. That's just me. I can't speak for every black person in America. But I've just never liked the beach. Other folks do. I mean, you got Cisco with that thong, 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 thong song. He was at the beach, you know. So I guess I'm I'm sort of being an asshole when I say black folks like the beach, or I'm just doing it for comedic effect. You know, it's not true at all. It's the same thing with black folks can't swim. I can swim, you know. But if I say I can't swim, then it comes off as more comedic, you know. Bruce Lee would win. Well, Bravo, you know, he's it's pretty clear that he is a filmmaker because his videos are always on point, you know. Yes, they have a lot of swap meets in South Carolina. That's a big thing. I don't live too far from the White Horse Flea Market where I started my supplement business back in 2001. No, I don't wear thongs. I wear boxers. I wear Hanes underwear, the Jordan stuff. I don't wear white underwear. I wear dark colored ones, you know. But that way, doo-doo stains don't show up. And everyone has doo-doo stains there in their drawers. That's just going to be natural, given our rapid pace of environment. But you know, with white drawers, it shows up. It's more prominent. What is the farthest I've ever ran? Probably about 20 miles. Did one of those marathon type things. I didn't run all the way. I walked half of the way. Not a good runner. What do I think about homeopathic HGH? It's a scam. Would I date Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris? Chuck Norris is way too old, and I'm not going to the graveyard to dig up Bruce Lee, so neither one. Do I think the viewer count would go down when Lenny is live? Well, Lenny is a lot more popular than I am, you know. But I would still do my live streams even if there was nobody in the channel or so forth. So, Ice Monkey, I think everyone's had skid marks in their drawers when they were a kid. Well, Lamar, I drive a Mercedes Benz. That's my regular daily car. So, folks, I have a Mercedes Benz and I have a Cadillac. I've never owned a BMW before. I had a Nissan 300ZX, you know. Oh yeah, I've met Bill Phillips before. He's no longer in the supplement industry. He's been out for many years. He sold his company. He sold his company a long time ago. I'm talking many years ago. Jay-Z looks like a camel. 50 Cent has too many holes in him. No and no. I don't like 50 Cent's face, always smiling, you know. And I wouldn't date a guy whose name is Curtis, you know. I have never worn wooden clogs. Why would I wear? Yeah, that is true, Pug Man, but sometimes it just spills over. Either that or if you're watching a football game and you're in a rush to get back to the game, sometimes you don't wipe as well as you can wipe. It's good just to wear dark colored underwear. I don't recommend anyone wearing tighty whities, but some people do. Some people wear tighty whities because they're, you know, you can bleach them and they're easy to clean. Not me. I mean, I have a cousin named Curtis. He's still locked up in prison. He's been in prison most of his life. I mean, I wish the best for him, you know, but, you know. But the name itself there, when I think Curtis, you know, Kurt is a better name. I think Curtis is just extending it a little bit too much. If my mom named me Curtis, I would have gone by just Kurt, actually. And I would have put a K up there, too. Would I date a guy named Albert? I know where you're getting at. I would not date Fat Albert! Hey, hey, hey! No. I don't watch Drag Race. I'll just leave it at that. Have I watched episodes of Drag Race? Yes. That's the only time I watch Drag Race is when I'm with friends. When I'm with fellow drag queens, I will watch RuPaul's Drag Race with them. Marathon episodes. You know, but those are friends, folks, you know. But as far as the show is concerned, I'm not interested in it because I'm not a drag queen, you know. If you're a drag queen, then that show would be for you, but, you know. Now, anybody, if there was a bodybuilding show, yeah, I would definitely watch it. I did watch it, Flex Appeal with Kayana, and I watched the one with Sean Ray on ESPN and stuff, And of course, naturally, I watch any bodybuilding show and go to it. But I'm not going to be interested in RuPaul's Drag Race because why? Not a drag queen. Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is, folks. Oh, no, you're cool, Lamar. Everyone's cool. You're free to ask me anything, You're free to donate. You're free not to donate. I'm not going to kick you out regardless as to what you say. But like I said before, and everyone's been pretty good so far. I don't see YouTube doing too many blocks or anything. But I'm not going to waste my time banning people or anything like that, YouTube may, but not me. It's pointless, It's pointless to do stuff like that, and immature too. I mean, you got to man up a little bit. You can't be a little bitch just because someone says some words that might hurt your feelings. Listening to Bill Cosby albums growing up in a black family was a requirement, as well as watching Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. Bro Teen, the answer is yes, yes, yes. I done told you folks I've dressed up in drag whenever it's appropriate. I've even dressed up for the live stream. I don't have no problem with it. I'm very comfortable with my masculinity, folks. I've dressed up as a judge. I've dressed up as a ninja, I've not put on a Klan hat or anything like that. I even put on one of those. I did put on a Confederate hat one time and had a Confederate flag behind me in one of my videos. It's no longer published because YouTube standards they didn't like what I was doing, so yeah. Emma, I believe she's still locked up. I don't have any mods on my channel because I don't have enough views right now. I don't have enough viewers. When I start getting into like the hundreds and 200s, and yeah, I'll probably end up getting a mod. My channel would also be under a management company like Vegan Gains. When your channel's under a management company, they assign you a mod anyway. So, no, I've never owned a manga hat. Like I said, Trump ripped me off years ago, so I know Pugman wants me over, but I'm like Big Worm from Friday. Messing with my money is like messing with my emotions, And I spent a lot of money, and I was really hoping, that, I always liked Trump up until then, and that's why I signed up for the Trump network, I thought it was a good concept. Turned out it wasn't, and then some. I don't have an anti-black sentiment. I only wish the best for my people, And what's best for my people is for them to stop complaining, stop freaking throwing rocks at the police every time, stop treating people like stop treating every single criminal activity as if they're fucking Nelson Mandela and stuff like that, or freaking Gandhi or Martin Luther King or so forth. I mean, you have people that are shooting at cops there and stuff, and then they get arrested and then they claim police brutality, and stuff. You know how ridiculous that is? Keep complaining about police officers, you're not going to have any police. You're going to have chaos. Defund the police. Look what's happening to these cities where they're defunding the police. The place is going wild, It's going wild. It's going crazy. It's like the funny pages out there, Well, I was a licensed naturopath there, but it was herbal medicine. Homeopathics is a little bit different there, Zach. But I had a naturopath license in North Carolina that I had to renew every year for $50. Lamar, I don't even know who Bandman Kevo is here. Uh, I have never heard of that name. I have never been to Africa. I don't consider it the fatherland. I consider America as the fatherland. This is my country. I want you guys to think about this for a minute here, okay? Whenever all the continents were all together, which I guess they call Pangea, people traveled across the continents or so forth. So everyone came from somewhere. Even the Native Americans had to come from some sort of sites and everything. It's just one of those things. America is my country, not Africa. You know, there is no such thing as a motherland. It sounds all nice and good, and it's nice to wear some nice little gold African medallions. And it's good to know your heritage, but at the end of the day, I know where I was born. I was born in America, I will probably die in America. I've done business with Africa. But what I don't like is the portrayal of Africa. Africa is not a bunch of huts and spears and stuff like that. Majority of the place is pretty modernized like any other metropolitan city. There's still going to be some areas out there. It's just a bigger landmass. So, yeah. Well, natural medicine does hold merit because before there was conventional medicine, that's what was around for thousands of years. No rules. I'm not worried about that. Neither should anyone else. If anyone catches that or so forth, with the meds and stuff like that, you're going to just go about your life. There are diseases out there, rules that are way worse. Hepatitis, you tear up your liver and stuff like that. HIV is the last thing someone would need to worry about at this point in stage. Lamar, I am a Nubian warrior. I am a piss trooper. Does that answer your question? I am a piss trooper. Remember, we are the Goodrum Group and we're all homosexuals. Why is Naruto being a deadbeat father? That's an interesting question. Because he's busy running the village. It's a job that he always wanted, and now that he has it, being the Okage, he's going to be pretty busy. Oh. Good question, though. I bet you didn't think I knew that one, did you? I think hyperbaric chambers are really good for training. It's more convenient than going off to the mountains. Nah, just American. We're all Americans. You don't need to put a black or white or Latino or anything like that. Doing stuff like that, it exhibits a separatist attitude. I'm an American. There doesn't need to be black or African. Is there really a need for it? I can't go to Africa and relate to anyone. It's a completely different culture. It's a different world. And truth of the matter is, a lot of Africans don't like black folks from America. I'll just be honest with you. Just American. That's why I don't believe in months or anything like that. I believe in recognizing and learning your heritage, but I don't need a merit badge or anything like that, or a special day or special month or special year or anything like that. It's sort of like the anti-melting pot of the foundation of our country. It's not what our founding fathers wanted everyone to hang out together. They didn't want people in groups. Well, Serratus, because Vegan Gains is a nutcase. I've watched episodes of Naruto. It's a pretty old show, actually. I've watched a lot of anime, and if you've watched anime, who hasn't watched Naruto? Rules, this is not a live stream talking about HIV. You know, go to go to somebody else's channel if you want to discuss that. But I'm going to say this again: these diseases, are, for the most part, have been eradicated. There's probably a cure out there, but the pharmaceutical companies make money off selling, this type of stuff. Just think about it for a minute. We've cured everything else, polio, smallpox, and everything, and all of a sudden, this is just some sort of incurable thing. And then you have the vax and everything that, for some reason or other, we now have to take it every single year. You have to stop and think, and you got to start getting into the red pill, blue pill type thing. There's already a cure for HIV. It's not going to be released because the pharmaceutical companies are already making so much money off of it. And that's the same with the vax, They want you to get a booster shot every year and stuff like that, It's just a big money pulling thing at this point in time, folks. Just remember that. Kim Hayes is attractive. Yeah, I would say that. Big Trips was on my live stream yesterday that I did. Well, Truth One, if my channel builds up to that point, then sure, I'll let you be a mod. But yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. There's no longer going to be any cures for any type of diseases whatsoever, folks. That ended with HIV, pretty much. Because, like I said, this is something that could have there's definitely an easy cure. It's a virus, folks. And all of a sudden, like 40 years later, there's still no cure for it. Come on, folks, think about that for a minute. Smallpox is also a virus, and we managed to cure that with much less technology. Polio. Folks, come on. It's all money-making stuff there, All to make a little cash. Sort of like reparations. The Democrats will wave that nice little carrot in front of you saying you're going to finally get it. There's going to finally be a cure. Next thing you know, they're just going to yank it away from you. No carrot for you, black people. Not even a piece of fried chicken. Nope. That's how they do us here, Reparations is going to be the bane of our people because it's what keeps folks voting Democrat, You're free. I don't mind someone voting Democrat because they actually know they actually study things and everything like that. There's no problem with any political party, but voting for a political party just for the opportunity to get some money, that being reparations, is probably the dumbest mentality ever, Joseph, we don't say the fucking word grid around here. Don't say that. Don't type that again, would you? I hate that word grid. In case you guys don't know, grid is an old term that used to be used in the 80s for gay-related immune disorder. It's almost a stereotypical thing, and actually got more people killed than ever because people thought that, if as long as I wasn't gay, I wouldn't catch it. But then you had blood transfusions and stuff like that, If it was never called grid, we wouldn't have so many people ill with HIV and still would be. Even in Africa, they're still dumb enough to actually think that it's still a gay related disease. Hey, I'm not a homo. I'm not going to catch HIV. Wrong! Anyone can catch it. But even if they catch it, if you take medicine, you're fine. You'll live a long life. And like I said, you don't even think about getting a cure. You know, they're just making way too much money off of it. You notice how monkeypox actually just disappeared all of a sudden, folks? They tried to get us with the monkeypox too. They really did try to get us. Monkeypox was a distraction for something else there. You guys know it. Start watching those pills you take, folks. I'm not showing any medical records ever. Some people are dumb enough to read their medical records. I mean, I don't have any trouble reading off what my telling you what my testosterone level is, but I'm not going to actually show you the paperwork. I think that's got things like social security numbers and personal information and addresses. I don't want people showing up. Ebola has disappeared for now, but they'll bring it up whenever we need a good distraction, something will come up. You know, send in the monkeys. What do we got on the panel? You know, killer bees, or what they call murder hornets and stuff. It's all a distraction, folks. It's all a trick. There is a cure for everything out there. There's a cure for pandemic disease. There's a cure for HIV. There's a cure for everything. They're never going to release it because they're making too much money off of it. And that's just my opinion of things. Might get me in some trouble, but, you know, it is what it is, folks, you know. 45 years old, I've learned my lessons, you know. I've watched the world spin so many times. And while I'm a good believer as far as myself taking a vaccine booster, I went on the information that I had at the time and I made a conscientious decision. That and prodding from my moms and everything. But if I had to turn things around, I probably would not have taken it. I can definitely see the effects of taking it there, you know. I've never felt more sicker in my entire life when I took those jabs, ever. I think in the few down the line, there's going to be a bunch of serious side effects, a lot of heart issues with it. But that's the thing about life there. You got to accept your decisions. You got to man up and be where you're at, basically. Those Chinese balloons were nothing. They couldn't, you know, satellites would have been able to get more information than some silly balloons. I think that China was just testing us. Let's see how xenophobic we are, and they accomplished what they had. I mean, we shot down a $15 Pico balloon with a $500,000 Sidewinder. No, I covered it up quick pump. I showed it out there, but I would have gotten a strike from YouTube if I had actually showed me taking steroids or anything, even though it was just a gel. Serratus, I'm a big believer in people making decisions for themselves. I made the decision based upon conscientious thought. We had a pandemic, you know. People were dying around me. My family members were dying around me, you know. Therefore, I came to the opinion that I was likely very susceptible from dying from it there. Because when it comes to diseases, heredity has a lot to do with whether you're going to live and die from it there. So, given the fact that a lot of my family members died from COVID, that's why I decided to take it, you know. Now, there's definitely going to be some side effects and some after effects over the years. I'm more than sure about it. But when you make a decision in life, regardless of anything, you got to accept things the way it is. Exactly, Pugman. Take it. Follow recommendations. Nailed it on the head. But if I was able to predict the future, I probably, wouldn't. But that's another thing. You can't predict the future. It's no different than me moving into this place. I would have never predicted that COVID, that because I don't have cable and fiber, that I would no longer be working at Verizon. You know, if I knew COVID was going to happen, I would have moved somewhere else here. I would have moved to a place to where there was cable and fiber. You can't predict the future, folks. You can only make the most conscientious decisions. Rules. Have you been doing drugs? Yes, I take fish oil supplements. That's very good for the skin and it's good heart health. I will never take Botox. You're injecting bacteria into your body. Uh-uh. And I've seen people on Botox, their face is frozen and everything like that. It doesn't move around or anything. It's kind of creepy, actually. I appreciate that. That's the way life is, there, folks. There, tomorrow is not promised. There, you gotta get out what you need to get out there. You need to do what you need to do as best as you can. You have to leave something behind for everyone. I don't think the jab cold C is causing the syphilis. Vegan Gains will never be ripped as long as he's vegan. He was ripped, but that was due to his age. Now that he's gotten older, his metabolism is going to slow down. He's, in fact, probably going to start getting fatter unless he changes his diet. He has my genes running through him, so I should know. He is my cousin after all, so. mm. Well, that's why I also eat regular fish. I also eat salmon there. I love fish. Fish is one of my favorite foods, Joseph. I love seafood. I can't get enough of it. Well, rules, you have to remember a lot of people have this mistaken impression that, okay, I get the jab, I'm healthy. Their lifestyle itself there is not going to change whatsoever. And some of the people, like my friend Big Sexy, he still took multivitamins, he took supplements and stuff like that, and he never took the vax. And then other people took the vax and still died from it there because of their diet, and they weren't taking supplements and they weren't taking good care of themselves. They didn't exercise. They were like Nicolado avocados. They were fat fucks and stuff. They sat around and everything. Regardless as far as what vaccine you take there, if you don't exercise and you don't take supplements, no vaccine or anything's going to save your health there. That's the same with HIV, and stuff. If you're not, there are things that are a lot more dangerous than that. You shouldn't worry about that. You should just worry about general health. You should worry. Stress kills more people than anything else here. Cigarettes, they kill a lot of people too. That's why I smoke cigars. Cigars are still not healthy, but, car accidents, not buckling up, that kills a lot of people. You have to look at what really kills a bunch of people, their rules, and just try to avoid it. Cold Sea, they don't serve swordfish at the Swordfish Club, but you can get chicken wings at the Swordfish Club. I showed y'all some pictures of the chicken wings. The chicken wings are pretty good too. It's mostly food just to cover up the alcohol. The premise of the Swordfish Club is alcohol. You know. Louis Uradil's been around the world. I mean, he's originally from Trinidad, actually. So, I mean, I think, yeah. Yeah, he got all those boosters, and he doesn't. I mean, he does venture out to go get groceries, but they both stay huddled into that apartment there. It's not healthy. I've just always liked seafood. I never said screw you to the ocean or anything. Well, Pugman, if you're gonna get flax oil, I would get it in capsules. It's just a lot easier. As long as you're getting some sort of omega threes in, the benefit is it's not only heart healthy, but it really helps out with the skin. Raul, no. I absolutely hate black eyed peas. Had to eat those when I was a kid. I just don't like the. They just taste burnt to me. Well, Vegan Gains has a mental issue there. He takes all those pills for depression. With that, he always wants to fight people. It's only because of his mental state. That's why early on in his old videos, he's acting crazy and insane. That's what got him all his viewers to begin with, but it's just a mental issue. I'm not a fan of fried chicken, folks. This is one black. I've said this before. I don't like fried chicken that much here, really. I mean, I can eat it, but it's just greasy. I hate anything that's one greasy, and I also hate finger foods. I like eating with a fork and a knife. When it comes to fried chicken, you eat it with fingers. You have to eat it with your hands, and you get stuff all over you. You know. That's why I don't eat. I hardly eat any fried chicken whatsoever. Not to say I won't eat it. I think everyone would eat fried chicken. It's just not one of my favorite foods. Well, Scatman, I got outed. I didn't come out. I got outed. I'm a type of private person to where I go and mind my own business. I don't go and tell other people my business. But I got outed by my ex-husband's friends here that didn't think that I was a good fit for him because I was a Negro. So they went and contacted Billy Guns of all people and started contacting other people from RX Muscle, and sure enough, people found out that I was a homophagosexual. So that's how that happened. Like I said, I don't like discussing my personal business. I'm a very private person. Everything doesn't need to be out there. People don't need to know who I'm screwing. People just mind their own business here. If that was the case, we wouldn't have so many problems. Everything doesn't need to be out in the open. I don't need an OnlyFans place or anything like that. People are willing to really embarrass themselves for very little, if no money at all. Ice bucket challenges, TikTok and stuff. People have no shame whatsoever. I don't like French fries neither. I like bow rounds, but I don't like any finger foods, and I don't like greasy foods. I like dry foods actually. I don't put ketchup on my steak or anything. I don't put nothing on steaks. I don't put anything on. I like stuff dry. My dad is in Cleveland, Ohio, Pugman. I like both beef and pork. I usually eat more beef actually. No, I don't sleep with my eyes open. That is one of the that's a genetic. That's actually a genetic issue actually. And I don't drink kombucha. Well, it wasn't their fault. It was my ex-husband's friends, but I don't really want to talk about him whatsoever. We're not married anymore, and I don't want y'all going and hassling him or anything. But I'm only telling you that for the purposes of getting the question out. But that's what happened. So my whole thing is I still want to maintain a conscientious. That's another thing. Any exes that you have, you still want to maintain a positive relationship with it. I wouldn't make too much fun with ketchup on steak because Trump actually has his steaks well done and he puts a lot of ketchup on his steaks. I think Warren Buffett does as well. Well, Raul, I'm touched that you think I'm your favorite homosexual influencer. If it's good, you're exposed. But yeah, I got outed. So what? And life goes on. You know, it would have came out anyway, but it just shows to my privaticity. Even when I went to the clubs for many years and stuff, and people didn't know. You know why? Because I don't like spreading my business around. Why do I need to spread my business around? Why should everyone know about everyone else's personal life here? People get on this TikTok and stuff and confess all these things there. I like the I'm attracted to dogs and stuff. I'm attracted to children. They even get on TikTok and say stuff like that. Are you freaking crazy? You're gonna have cops showing up at your door and stuff. Why would you say that, you sick freak? You need to go to a mental facility and stuff. Jasmine is not a woman. She is non binary. Get it right. She is to be referred to as either a they or supposedly. Richard uses she pronouns, but if he's claiming her to be non binary, she needs, or they needs to go by they, in other words. Steak is unhealthy, Pugman, but I love steak. Steak is awesome, you know. Back in the day before all these smoking laws would pass, I would go down to Ruth Chris, and I would light up one of those little mini cigarettos and stuff there. At the time, I actually did actually have a Blackie Mild there, at a restaurant. That's when you were able to smoke. But I'm a lot more sophisticated than that there in this day and age, and now I use real tobacco. Did my Christmas gifts change? No, because I've always given out gift cards. Yes, Serratus, I don't want to talk. We didn't. Our divorce was amicable. We weren't mad at each other. We weren't throwing hands or anything like that. Vegan Gains gets injured because of vitamin deficiencies. Serratus, everything nowadays is controversial. Everything is made to be controversial. In fact, if anything, things are more controversial than ever, no matter what you're talking about. I don't keep up with Tony Huge. I think he's an idiot there, Raul. So I'm not akin to watching too many of his videos unless it merits a little bit of mints to make another video about him and his stupidity. I think Tony Huge is a horrible example of someone, and I think his actions and advice is gonna get a lot of people killed, if not already. And I do mean not already. We'll just see, actually. Well, the reason why so many gay people went to San Francisco is because of those blue discharges in the 30s and 40s. They issued them out disparagingly to blacks, always to gays, but that was in order to a blue discharge basically signified that they were gay, and they were handed out to a lot of black folks here. And when you're handed a blue discharge, even though you didn't check the spin code on it there, you see, any type of discharge has a spin code. A lot of employers in the 30s and 40s didn't check the spin code. They would just assume that a blue discharge was that you were discharged for being a homo. So because they couldn't return to their families or get jobs, a lot of them moved out to San Francisco to where they weren't known. That's why San Francisco has a high population of gays. That's the whole story. It's all because of the blue discharges. I don't know what a cryptic is there, Zach. What does vegan game smell like? Well, Jasmine already described it. He smelled. He said on. She said, or they said on the live stream that he smells like doo doo. I mean, Jasmine actually said that he smelled like doo doo. So, good question. It's already been answered. He smells like shit. All right, folks, 5 minutes left. Get your questions in. If you want to throw in some money for the Swordfish Club, you still can do that. But get everything in, folks, before we close out the show. Bean Smasher, I just try to just leave that whole situation alone. They'll figure it out or maybe not. I don't really care. They're just getting weirder and weirder at this point in time. Pugman, San Francisco is not a place for anyone to be. The liberals down there have turned it into a complete cesspool. Not only do you have high people that are out of priced with housing, but they got people sleeping out on the streets there. It's just, and they got bum everywhere. San Francisco is pretty much ruined. I mean, it's ruined. It is an example of what happens when those people are under control. So. But I know if I was I'm going to be honest with you, Pugman. If it was the 30s and I was outed and I had gotten a blue discharge, I would have either moved to San Francisco or I would have moved to France. One thing is for sure, I definitely wouldn't have been in the South in the 30s and 40s. I couldn't deal with it. And I would not have been in New York. So chances are I probably would have moved to San Francisco. But in this day and age, hell no. No. I'm going to make a t-shirt that says, "We are the Goodrum Group and we're homosexuals." But yeah, that's how things start. Australia was formed as a prison continent. San Francisco has a high gay population because of those blue discharges. Salt Lake City, Utah, all the Mormons moved there. So, I mean, that's why there's a high concentration of Mormons, because they were forced there. Boston is filled with Irish folks here because, that's where they were forced to, because they were ran out of New York, Every place in the United States or establishment has a history behind it, San Francisco is no different, but good question. It's always good, Pugman, that you bring up stuff to where it allows me to give folks a good learning lesson about the history of our country. That is one of the very dark times of our country, where these blue discharges were handed out. Most of the time, very unfairly. The initial purpose of the blue discharge was to get people back out into civilian life because they couldn't simply make it into regular life, and it was never meant to be punishment there. Just remember, folks, not everyone has the aptitude to be in the military, and people were drafted at the time there. They were forced into the military because of the draft there, which I'm always a believer in the draft, but some people simply don't have the aptitude, and if you don't have the aptitude, why should you be punished for it? Think about it, folks. Well, California can do without me, that's for sure. California, San Francisco, they're all cesspools. I'm going to stay right here in South Carolina, folks. Don't go move to San Francisco, folks. Stay out of that. Stay out of California. Move to Florida or something. Move to the South. You know, trust me on this. You're not having to deal with all the SJW bullcrap. Why do you think everyone's running away from New York and heading down to Florida? Why do you think people are running away from California and they're moving down to Texas for, you know? It's just nuts. Scat man, I don't block anyone whatsoever. But folks, it is 10:01 p.m. I want to thank everyone for joining me for the show. I want to thank Sneed. I want to thank Pugman for donating. Pugman, you always take good care of me. I want to thank everyone for asking questions. I want to thank everyone attending. Like I said, without you guys, there would be no Vince Goodrum live stream. There would not be an Earl Grey Tuesday. There would not be a midnight run. So again, folks, don't forget, naturally, the midnight run will be at 10 o'clock p.m. Friday. So be there, be square. Pugman, there are bathhouses everywhere, you know. Personally, I prefer a Turkish bath. But folks, thanks again for joining me for the show. And as always, peace and soul. La, la, la.